Hello everybody and welcome to the Miranda House Unnat Bharat Abhiyan educational video series. My friend Kamakshi Singh and I Ritika Mukherjee from the Department of Zoology Miranda House will guide you through this. Today we shall be discussing microorganisms. Thank you so much for joining us. Microorganisms, also known as microbes, are tiny, incredibly tiny organisms, and they are so small that millions of them can fit on the head of a pin. The fact that they are so small should not illusion you because they are numerous. You can find hundreds and millions and probably trillions of them all around your house. You can also find them in the most extreme environments. They are so important that probably the air we are breathing today might not be the same without them. Now, a community of microorganisms, such as the bacteria, the fungi, and the viruses that inhabit or reside in a particular environment, are known as the microbiome of that particular environment. For example, all the microbes present in a patch of soil near your house constitute the microbiome of that soil environment. Like all the different species of plants, of animals, there are several different species of microbes as well. And a new study says that there might be 12 trillion species of microbes existing on Earth. At the bottom of the slide, you can see what 1 trillion looks like. Imagine 12 trillion species. And what's fun is that 99.99% of them have not even been discovered. And if you look closely, you can find life on life on life. And perhaps if you look even closer, we can find more life. And that is why nature is so beautiful and fascinating. And there are several different classes of microbes. They are different on the basis of their cellular structure, where they are found, what they eat, what they do. They can be bacteria, protozoa, fungi, some people call it fungi, algae, and even viruses. Viruses are a little different from the bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and algae. Why? We shall tell you in the subsequent slides. Now, the story of microbes began 4.5 billion years ago with the origin of ancient Earth. A unicellular, meaning a single-celled organism known as a bacterium, originated in the deep sea hydrothermal vents of Earth. Now, what's a hydrothermal vent? A hydrothermal vent is a geyser of sorts. It's like a tunnel, a outgrowth in the soil of the sea, which spurts out very hot water. And the temperature in this environment is so high, it's almost 400 degrees Celsius, which you can imagine is 100 times hotter than probably the hottest summer day in Delhi. And it was in this environment that the first microbe originated. Now, this bacterium, this first microbe, evolved such that a large microbe came and ate up or engulfed some of these smaller microbes. And these small microbes went on to become some of the most important organelles of the modern eukaryotic cell, namely the chloroplast and the mitochondria of that large bacterium. And this is how, from the primitive prokaryotic cell, we advanced, things evolved, and we came to the more advanced eukaryotic cell. And the theory that suggests that this is what happened in ancient Earth is known as the endosymbiont theory. Having discussed this, now let's zoom ahead in time and try to understand what microbes mean in today's world.
To get a more cohesive sense of just how crucial these microbes are in our lives, let us look at Aditi. a 13-year-old student of science just like you and me. She starts her morning by brushing her teeth and taking a bath. Now, this is not only a way of maintaining personal hygiene, but is also essential for regulating her personal microbiome. This makes sense because a large number of diseases can be traced back to instabilities in the human microbiome. Moreover, the number of microbes in our body equals to, if not exceeds, the number of cells in it, further proving that our body depends on these microbes as much as it does on our internal organs. Now, every organ in our body is specialized to perform a specific task, and the organ is further aided in this by the resident microbes present in that specific part. Therefore, some unique microbes will be observed in each of these regions, and so we have the gut microbiome, the oral microbiome, the skin microbiome, the vaginal microbiome, among many more. Let us take the oral microbiome, for example. We know that daily brushing is required for maintaining its stability and health. And to ensure this, toothpastes are designed in such a way that they destroy bad microbes while also preserving the good ones. In certain diseases, such as diabetes, cancer, and some autoimmune disorders, the composition of this microbiome changes. Now, Aditi wants to have some breakfast. She wants to have a sandwich. But to her dismay, the bread doesn't look quite right. She notices a white woolly outgrowth on its surface, and it smells really bad. But these outgrowths are actually the result of bread mold, a type of fungus feeding and growing on the bread slice. It is interesting to know that yeast, which is used in making the bread, is also a unicellular fungi. And so it is evident that these microbes come in all flavors, essential for making stuff, but also capable of destroying it. A large number of these fungi and bacteria thus form the backbone of numerous food industries, being extensively used in the fermentation process that is essential for the production of cheese, wine, alcohol, among other food items. Aditi ends her day by hanging out with her friends. Unfortunately, she catches a virus and falls ill. Now, some of these viruses, bacteria, and microbes that we have discussed actually cause diseases and are known as pathogens. And when these pathogens enter our body, our white blood cells are activated, and antibodies are produced against these pathogens. The antibodies produced remain in our body even after the pathogen has been killed. Thus, in a way, our body remembers how to fight the pathogen and we are protected from future attacks of that same pathogen. If dead or weakened pathogens are introduced in our body, a similar production of antibodies takes place, and this is exactly how vaccines function. As such, a large number of vaccines have been developed against contagious diseases such as hepatitis, smallpox, cholera, and tuberculosis. We do hope that Aditi gets well soon. And for now, let's move on and look at each of these classes of microbes individually.